let's talk about what kicked off this event, which was hey, Game Pass Ultimate is increasing in price by 50%, and so okay, so now it's gonna be
The
$30.
massive balls, the massive giant testicles to be willing to do this. You know that scene of South Park? This episode has to be over a decade old, where it's like Randy walking around with his fucking irradiated giant balls in a wheelbarrow.
I hope that's not 10
Have you
years
seen
old.
this?
That feels like yesterday. Damn.
Like that's what it feels like after your second console price increase and your insanely expensive handheld coming out and saying that your best product is going to be 50% more expensive. This is crazy.
So
This is crazy.
when you explain it like that, I can say that I understand why they're doing it. It's just it's an admission that they're too late. They have mistimed everything about this, and you messed this up. Your business plan was bad, and now you're trying to clean up, and it's just not going to work.
It's like, I don't think the business plan was bad. I think it's the execution was the problem.
That's what I'm saying is like the idea of Game Pass, as we've said numerous times, even during our shitty on Xbox era, like Game Pass is a great idea. People will say like Game Pass like ruins games. We're gonna see, some people make those statements, and like you and I, when we were looking at it, like there is a way to make this work. Especially when you're coming from Microsoft, who's already making bank, there's a way to make this work and use your massive weight in the industry to your advantage to like push some things around. And it's very clear on some level, like profit margins on that. They messed it up. They messed it up somewhere.
They absolutely did. So basically, what's happening is like all the Game Pass tiers are getting shifted around.
Mm-hmm.
And they added value, which I guess they technically did, and we'll get into that.
Okay.
To the Ultimate. So what they did for Ultimate is they added more games. I believe they added 75 games today by adding a Ubisoft Plus Classics, which is, a bunch of old Assassin's Creed games, a bunch of old Tom Clancy games, and South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Okay.
And a couple others. And then they added a couple additional games on top of it, with like Hogwarts Legacy, stuff, stuff like that.
Popular game. So.
Yep.
No?
But it's but it is mostly Ubisoft games, if I'm being fairly honest.
Sure.
So that's the first bit.
Okay.
The next thing they added is Fortnite Crew. So that's Fortnite's subscription service. Which technically this is saving you $3 if you are already subscribed to that. And what you get is you get a full battle pass and OG pass and some V-Bucks every month.
All right.
So then EA Play still there, regular version of EA Play. Day one games at launch. And then they made it. You can play games on, everything, PC, handheld, console. Online multiplayer, let's see. Oh, they upped the streaming quality from 1080p to 1440p, and then you have the shortest wait for streaming. And then they added this rewards program where you technically can earn up to $100 in store credit a year.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I don't know. I think that this is only valuable if you are really into Ubisoft games, but most of those games sell for like pennies. Like a year later, like $10-15. And then, you're looking at and then the Fortnite thing is like genuinely valuable, but it's only if you play Fortnite.
Well, and this points to a larger problem is like they are fighting an increasingly uphill battle where Game Pass as a service is ridiculous value for what you're doing. If you're gaming all the time and you're like, I want to try a different game, here's this service that has a bunch of games. I'm going to keep plumbing the depths here and keep doing that and
Yes.
keep doing that. If you were to do that, you can stretch a lot of money to play a lot of games.
But the thing is, like, are those the games you want to play? And that's always been a question with Game Pass, to be fair.
Yep.
But at this price point, it was like, well, I'm getting all kinds of stuff. I'll find something. Or sorry, at the previous price points, it was like, oh, well, there's all kinds of stuff. I'll get something. At this price point, dude, it's like, well, that's basically half or a little under half the price of a full video game.
Right. Yeah.
And I kind of looked through what I played that was day one on Game Pass this year, right? Like I decided to poke around in it, and I'm like, which of these would I have bought? And it would have been, I would have bought Doom, I would have bought Tony Hawk, I would have bought Avowed, and then everything else I kind of probably would have waited on. And so those 3 games is less than a year of Game Pass.
Right.
So it's, and then I also would have been disappointed at paying $70 for Doom. But I don't think Doom, The Dark Age, is that great.
Sure.
But, so yeah, like I think that at this price, for Ultimate at least, I just don't see the value, because at that point, like, okay, within 2 months you can buy a game, and, who is playing more than, 2 games at a time, right? I guess if you're maybe burning through them super fast.
I mean, yeah, everyone's gaming habits are different. And the amount of time that we spend, on one game or another. But at $30, like, if you're the kind of person that's, has Steam, who the people that are willing to pay Ultimate to get all the benefits of Xbox, and are also people who probably like have Steam or something. Like
there's probably a lot, and then like you look at a Steam sale right now, it's like, you can get Indiana Jones for $55, and that game is about 20 hours long if you just want to do the straight shot the story, and if you want to do everything, it's like a 45-hour video game.
And to be fair,
so it's gonna take you.
To be fair, if you were to game solely through Game Pass, like, you can make these costs work for you, but it's not going to be in new games every single month that are like the big things that people are playing. This comes back to Xbox, despite everything they've bought and put under their own wing, is still not getting all the games that people are playing.
Well, and I talked about this in the Xbox videos. Like, even when they are getting games out, it's like they're kind of underperforming, or not as. Like, I think Doom: The Dark Ages is not a bad video game, but it is certainly not as good as the most recent 2 other Doom games. Like, I think Oblivion Remastered is solid. I also think that it is basically an Unreal 5 wrapper for Oblivion. Like, so it's I don't know, if they just don't have, if you just want to play video games and have as many games as possible to play, sure, it's actually decent value. But at that point, also, you're kind of looking at the other tier of premium, which gives you every single game on Game Pass, just not day one. So, like, so for example, Indiana Jones came out December of last year. It'll come to premium sometime by December of this year. Basically, all first-party Xbox games will come to premium within a year, except for Call of Duty.
Right. We got a few news stories here. Let me pull up this slide that we have explaining the tiers real quick, because we have it prepared and I have a thing set up so I can switch that real easy. Okay, hopefully you can see this on your screen. The text is small, but yeah. So we got Essential at $10, Premium at $15, and Ultimate at $30, and then there's PC Game Pass at $16.50.
Yeah, which I'm gonna get real salty about this because of the next story after it, which is they didn't add anything to PC Game Pass.
Oh.
They added nothing, but they upped the price by $5.50.
Yeah.
And also it doesn't support PC handhelds, which is bullshit because those are PCs.
They're PCs.
They're
Sorry.
fucking they run in Windows or Linux.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. We're looking at this here.
Gonna fucking spoof my device ID just to fuck with Game Pass. God damn it.
There's got to be a way.
Fuck 'em.
Let's see. Yeah, starting at premium, new Xbox published games join the library within 1 year of launch. Asterisk for Call of Duty, and then available day one for PC Game Pass. So
yeah, which
nice.
is
what it was before. But like,
yeah,
still, like if you're weighing the benefits between premium and PC Game Pass.
I'm gonna be real. Like out of all of these, the one that seems like the most worth it is PC Game Pass, unless you really want to play on a handheld. Like it's like $16.50 a month is. It's not as nearly as cheap as it used to be at 12, but it's like okay, you know, like that's pretty good. That's not day one releases still. That's not bad. You know, I'm still unsubbing.
Right.
Which I have a story for that later.
Yeah.
But you know, like yeah, so
we got things to talk about there. Have you engaged with this system at the bottom here where it starts talking about play rewards and playing quests and buying games and add-ons?
I've engaged with the old one, not the new one.
Right.
The way it works is you log on to your Xbox or you check on the reward center on the PC, and it's like, play 5 Game Pass games this week. Go do, X thing in Game Pass.
So gamifying
that kind of stuff.
Playing video games.
Yeah, yes. They're gamifying your games. We put a game inside your game so you can game while you game.
Which I get it. You're trying to get people to engage more with Game Pass. I understand.
Yeah, like they're trying to show the value of the service, which, all right. I'm sure that people who are playing Hogwarts Legacy will also want to play Peppa Pig World Adventures. I'm just looking at the front page of Game Pass right now, by the way.
Gotcha.
That's how I knew that is. I decided to throw up Game Pass. I'm like, I'm sure the person playing Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light will happily play RoboCop Rogue City.
Man, they should. I don't know. Yeah, man, I don't know.
And you're like the rewards thing. I've gotten a couple free months of Game Pass out of that. Okay. I would say when I was like peak playing Xbox, like you're just going ham on Xbox, like 2020, 2021, 2022. That's where I was primarily playing my video games. I probably got 2 months of Game Pass out of it.
Okay.
I don't know what you can't pay for subscription now with the rewards program though.
Oh, good.
So
okay, cool.
I don't know what let me see what the rewards are. Actually, I want to see what the new rewards are. Okay, so you can get Xbox gift cards. So you can get Xbox gift cards, which, you can get DLC for certain Microsoft games. So that's a thing. You can donate to the Trevor Project.
Okay. I mean,
you can donate.
That's cool, but
that's neat. Yeah, you can donate to some causes.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of it. Oh, you can get Roblox cards. You can get Roblox cards and League of Legends cards.
Roblox there. This comes back to there's ways to there are ways to engage in Game Pass that can make it valuable, but there's just a couple problems. One we've already mentioned, and then on top of all that, just like word of mouth about Xbox is in the toilet, man. Like,
well, and who is the consumer that is that person who's like, I want to play day one games, but I want to play specifically these day one games. I'm willing to pay $30 a month for it, while also not just going and buying the games. Like I feel like that's such a narrow narrow person.
Right.
And I feel that, and we'll talk about this in a story that's a little later. I think it's because they're trying to push, full video games, like buying games again.
Which is
Um,
yeah. Should we go on the next story? I could
Yeah,
go in
yeah, yeah.
circles on these.
Yeah,
So
the response to this, of course, was very weak sauce corporate bullshit. Which is yesterday, who was this? Microsoft, Dustin Blackwell, director of gaming and platform communications, said, "We understand price increases are never fun for anybody. But we're trying to reinforce by adding more value to these plans as well. It's something we don't take lightly, and we're listening to feedback of players in the community to try and provide them with more of what they're asking for."
that's a decent, generic answer to.
That is shut up and take it, piggies.
I mean, okay, you could be taking feedback. That's good. You should talk to the people using your service and people who want to use your service. But I don't know what feedback you give at this point. Like, hey, this price increase kind of blows for us. If you need to do it, fine. But then it's still a bad deal for us.
Yes. So I did enjoy. I was talking to Anthony about this, and we found a YouTube comment that both made us laugh. You know it's going to be bad when they say we've listened to your feedback.
Yeah.
And then of course people were up in arms about this. So the whole Xbox Reddit post had to start being deleted and all kinds of shit.
Really? For this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, not a lot of this. This whole shebang. It just feels like just say nothing. Just nothing. Don't just you put your video out. They did a whole 3-minute video breakdown, breaking out the tiers, explaining the different tiers and how Game Pass is changing. It's actually how I found out about it. I was on my YouTube, and I one of the channels I'm subscribed to had the video. What's new and what's changing with Xbox Game Pass? And it's 4 minutes long, and it goes over everything that changed.
Right. So yeah, those comments must have been amazing.
Oh, here's a good one. When she said we listened to your feedback, she was talking about the shareholders.
Yeah.
Cancel subscription. That's how I play now. Changing the name for standard premium is crazy. Black me stuff.
Okay. This is video games.
Yeah.
Let's keep this in proportion, but all right.
I don't remember my feedback being raised the price by 50%.
That's pretty.
We didn't ask for a Fortnite subscription. We didn't ask for old Ubisoft games that are constantly on sale.
I understand the Fortnite thing. That makes sense.
Apparently in Brazil it was 100% increase in price.
Oh.
They doubled the price in Brazil.
Man. Oh. No.
Can we talk about how this is the most expensive subscription by far now, by the way? For entertainment?
Yeah.
It's I have a family plan for Apple One, which is music, video. So I have me, Steph, and Mom on it. And it's so I have all of us on it, and it is music, TV, news, and I think a couple other things. I'm trying to remember what else is in Apple One. Some iCloud storage, you get a good chunk of the Apple product suite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, games, Apple Arcade.
So iOS stuff.
Yeah, like you get a bunch of iOS games. My mom uses that one. But anyway, so it's like Game Pass, but for iOS games, kind of.
Right.
Anyway, and that's $26 a month, and it's a family plan,
Right.
so I can add up to 5 people.
Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I need to check. I'm pretty sure that's less, or Xbox. This plan is now more than GameFly's 2 games at a time subscription.
GameFly's, so it depends on which version. Because their base version is 27, and then their fancy version where you can lock in
Right.
as late as 7 days prior is 30. So it's the same.
So it's the same, and that's to lock in getting games day one or as close to day one as possible, and that's like you could be playing your $60-$70 full price games and just alternating between 2 of them at any one time through a cheaper service than what Game Pass is offering.
And also, like, not only that, you could play PlayStation and Nintendo games.
You can switch between them.
Movies.
Yes, movies.
Your movies too. You don't get anything on your computer, but still.
Well, yeah, but whatever. Like the combination of GameFly and just hey, the autumn sale on Steam is going on right now. Like, take advantage. Like that combo is deadly.
I am very much in my return to monkey era for video games right now. Because I thought about going back to game, but so my Game Pass, I paid for this month because I wanted to play. One, it was before this announcement happened, but I wanted to play Ninja Gaiden, Outer Worlds, and one other game that's on that service this month. Keep it. And then Ray bought a laptop, and he gave me his 3-month Game Pass code that came with it.
Okay.
So I am paid through my Game Pass for January, but I canceled the renewal.
Right.
So I said, do not renew this. I do not want this. I am done with your shit. But I was like, I had the thought, man, I don't want to pay $70 for every game. I should get GameFly again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's a good service.
It is. It's a great service. I was subscribed to GameFly for 14 years before I canceled it for Game Pass because I was wanted to save money.
Oh my god, man!
Outside of 1 year when I was just out of college and didn't have a job and was so broke that I could barely afford my phone bill.
Right.
I didn't have Game Pass that year, or not Game Pass, GameFly. But otherwise, I had it from 2007 until 2021, when Microsoft had that really great Game Pass year.
Yep.
And I, canceled it. Went full Game Pass, but now it's time.
Yeah.
It is time to return to Monkey.
Yeah.
I've also returned to Monkey in another way, by the way.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec.
Oh no.
You don't like this.
All
You
right.
don't like this. You don't like this.
Oh yeah! Yeah! Print magazines of video games.
Return to Monkey.
Hell yeah. That's the good stuff. How much is that?
I think for print it's 40 or 50 a year.
Okay. And then what are you getting every 2 or 3 months?
Every 5 weeks.
Really? Okay.
6 weeks. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
So
hell yeah.
I think it's $5 an issue is what it breaks down to.
That's fine.
It's
but you have to pay it all at once, of course.
Yeah, you have to pay it all at once. But still, that's not
that's cool.
I was just everybody, we gotta do it. Return to Monkey. Start buying Blu-rays.
Oh,
go
man.
be wild and free.
That's yeah. This is
escape the bonds of the subscription service.
Yeah, dude, this is wild. I just this came at such a bad time for them too. The price increase combined with the price increase on their consoles, combined with revealing their price for their handheld. Xbox was already in a bad way, both in terms of like, their games over the last, 5 years, well, 3 years, and like just bad news story after bad news story after bad news story, shutting down studios, layoffs. And now this is a bad time. This you got a negative hit on what Xbox is in all branches over the course of a week.
Maybe they're trying to just like get it all out of the way.
Yeah.
maybe they're like, all right, we have all these bad decisions. We're gonna line them up all in a row over 2 months, get them done with.
Right. Well, so yeah, one of the things that's mentioned is friggin' Call of Duty. And I think that provides a hint at what's happening, which
Call of Duty is for sure a big part of this. The purchasing of Activision is the biggest acquisition in the history of Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Xbox, Microsoft.
Right.
The most valuable company in the world.
Yeah.
This is their biggest purchase ever.
Mm-hmm.
More than OpenAI, what they paid for their portion of OpenAI.
Wow.
So as part of that, all the eyes of the company as a whole were on them very heavily. And I think that there's a lot of pressure to make money and make a shit ton of money. And I think that Call of Duty, them losing sales because people were like just playing it for a month on Game Pass instead of paying $70 for a copy, it was a big part of that. Because I didn't buy Call of Duty last year.
Yeah,
I just played it on Game Pass.
There's a news story coming up here that will be a bit more relevant to the Call of Duty conversation, but just while it's on my mind right now, it's like, I think the success of making Call of Duty be that thing was you needed to be driving people to Game Pass at the same time, because the agreeing to not go exclusive 10 years out, good PR, but you needed to be coming up with other things to get people into Game Pass.
And it didn't, like, so last year's Call of Duty had record engagement numbers during the first couple months. So what that tells me is people subscribed to 1, maybe 2 months of Game Pass to get their fill of Call of Duty and then left.
Right.
Which is why it's also not in the premium tier even within the first year.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, dog, you're going to pay us for Call of Duty.
Yep.
It is too big.
Right. It was a bad bet because they did not have anything else there to back it up. They were hoping Call of Duty itself would drive it.
Well, they had Indiana Jones a month later, which I feel like that game underperformed because I thought that game was great. It was one of my favorite games last year.
Right. And so we were talking about that when it was happening, was like they released a few games after Call of Duty that were like, oh, these are good games. But
do you think that it's just no one wants to deal with their platform anymore? Do you think that that's just what it is at this point? Is like, yeah, they're the diehards that are going to go to Xbox until the platform goes away forever. But otherwise, it's like, no, it's just tainted.
There's a number. Someone cites a number. I want to say it's about for Call of Duty, the amount of people who played Call of Duty on PlayStation. And like when
it's 82%.
When I see that 82%. Number, I can't imagine it's anything else. I think it's done.
I just think it's tainted. I think it's tainted.
Yeah.
And I can see that by I have an Xbox friends list that dates back to 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say probably the amount of people that are online actively playing things on their Xbox compared to my PlayStation friends list is like 1/10.
Yeah.
It's like, and usually if they are playing something, it's not on an Xbox console or the Game Pass app. It is literally just going and fucking off, and they're on their PC and the Xbox app just happened to be on.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a couple of people who are still there. I have some dudes I was in a Madden league with who are still there. The girl I dated in college still there. Some dudes who are just, they're there because they like their achievements and whatnot.
Sure.
But the vast majority of people that I see on here are like, they're on their PC and the app just happens to be on and they don't bother to turn it off.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. And
So
I think there's I was watching a video of, I think some guys were talking with Julian Edelman or something about football, and they mentioned something about video games briefly, and it's like they mentioned Xbox. I feel like there's a brand recognition among a certain group of people who, like in America, that play Madden. I think there's a large portion that they just have played Xbox because they grew up with Xbox during its heyday.
Well, or that's just where their purchases are, and they're just kind of like they don't want to give that up. Like I was on the Rockman Reddit, which we'll be talking about more later, and just a lot of people like, yeah, dude, I bought all this DLC on Xbox, so I have to own an Xbox to keep playing all my Rockman stuff.
Bad news for you guys. Later.
What? Sorry, what?
I have bad news for those guys later.
Yeah,
but
so versus like and to be fair, I kind of lucked out with that because in the middle of the 360 generation, I switched everything.
Ooh,
I moved all my stuff.
Good timing.
I bought all of my I rebought all my Rock Band shit on PlayStation during the middle of the PS3 generation.
All right.
And little did I know, almost 20 years later, that would fucking be to my benefit.
Huge. Yeah.
But relating to this news story, he says they're trying to add additional value to make up for it. But it seems like that's a load of horse shit.
On top of it, whatever it is probably isn't enough.
Yes, because they are getting rid of their 10% DLC discount that Ultimate members had.
Right. Yes, this thing.
So Ultimate members used to be able to get DLC for 10% off. So, like, for example, I loved the new Indiana Jones game. The DLC for it recently came out. I could have got it 10% off on the Xbox store with the Game Pass membership. They're not doing that anymore for the vast majority of games, including the discount on Call of Duty points.
Okay, so what benefit is there to me to engage with this platform if I'm about Call of Duty?
None. If you are all about Call of Duty, then zero, because like you're not getting it for free anymore. You're not getting Call of Duty points discounted. You're better off just playing it on Steam or on your PlayStation.
Yep.
Well, like to be fair, it seems like they're just saying fuck the platform. They're like fuck the platform.
It's kind of like I was wondering at what point during this news blitz we were going to get there, but this seems like they're just like, this whole strategy we took blew up, and so we're going to get what money we can while this ship sinks and we build the new ship, I guess.
So I'm gonna go. I got a full conspiracy theory. I'm gonna get to more towards the end of this.
Okay. All right.
On what I think their plan is.
All right.
I'm not necessarily sure it is their plan.
Right.
But it's what I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this is like, we added so much value, but then we got rid of one of our discount programs.
Cool. Cool. Okay.
Like what is happening? what are we doing? What are we? God. We still got a little more to go on these, but after reading all this, I almost wanted to go in the living room, take out the Series X, and put in a 360. I need to replace the power supply on my 360. Its fan is dying.
Aww.
But it's making a rattling noise.
Okay.
And I'm fairly mechanically inclined, but I'm not. I don't want to open a power supply because I like living.
Sure.
So
Yeah, man. This is
so
yeah.
yeah, so like yeah, because I was just like, I mean, what am I playing on my Series X these days if I don't have Game Pass Ultimate 360 games? You want to know what plays a lot more 360 games than a Series X and Xbox 360.
Ooh. Yeah.
The bad part is you don't get the upscaler and you don't get the you don't get the upscaler or the FPS boost.
Here's
but
the thing, though. As this brand continues to fade into obscurity and Xbox becomes more of a nostalgia thing, that's like a benefit. That's a feature that it doesn't. It looks like shit. It's like I'm there.
Take me back to 2008 when I didn't have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Well, I had one responsibility. I had a really crappy day job.
Well, yes.
But take me back to 2008 when I had my shitty summer job.
Take me back to when Halo 3, Fallout 3, Orange Box, all these games are coming out. Gears, Dead Rising.
You Pinata.
Give me back to this specific window.
Get me back to this sweet spot between the 360's launch and like 2011. It's just beautiful era.
That's what kills me is that was the era. That was a huge era for games, I felt. Also, I'm biased because I think that was a huge era for us in starting this website and covering video games. And it was really exciting and interesting. And that happened to be the window where Xbox 360 leapt out ahead, and then PlayStation started slowly crawling back from behind. And that era ended when Xbox shot itself in the foot.
Yep.
And then didn't treat it and is about to die.
And they have gangrene and the foot is now melting. The foot is melting. They got a blood infection. They are in sepsis.
Oh my god, man.
And they're well on their way to becoming Microsoft Gaming.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's obviously horseshit, the value thing. And then the next bit is, hey, premium members are getting those games within the year except Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
So
Call of Duty.
Yeah, to get day one, the stuff that we were getting before, it was Ultimate, which is $30 now, and then within a year for premium. Removes Call of Duty from that. So it's just like, so what is it? Is it a game by game basis on when it's coming?
I think so, yeah. Like I imagine, so these are the Call of Duty games that you can play on Game Pass.
Okay.
Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and World War 2.
Okay.
And I guess maybe they'll just have Modern Warfare 2 and World War 2. Who knows? Like these are the ones that you can play on PC Game Pass, which gets everything still.
Yeah.
So like that's my guess anyway. Yeah. So
wow.
But like, who wants to play the old Call of Duty? That's another question.
There are some weird sickos out there. You want to play the old games, but like, I don't know. I don't know what the Call of Duty audience is like.
Like I want to play Black Ops 2.
Right.
That's the one I like playing. Like I don't want to play. I want to play like original Modern Warfare 2. I don't give a shit about playing World War 2 or Modern Warfare 3.
I don't know very much about the Call of Duty world. Do they have servers running for a lot of those old games? Do they just like keep those up because maybe?
Yes. Depending on which one, it'll be hard to get a match or not. Like, but there are still people playing original Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox.
Man,
you can still. I hopped into a game of that like last year.
Huh.
I had the itch to play some Call of Duty before Black Ops 6 was out.
Yeah.
I was like, look, I was not in the mood to play a more modern one. So yeah, I just installed Modern Warfare 2 on my Series X and went after it.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
All right. Hey.
So yeah, and there are still people playing the remaster of COD 4. I after canceling Game Pass, I did get an itch to play COD.
Okay.
Last month, and I played COD 4 on my PlayStation 4. which I PlayStation 5.
All right.
So
Yeah.
So the popular ones have community still. Your Black Ops 1, 2, your Modern Warfare 1 and 2, your it's the shit like Vanguard and World War 2 and
Right.
Black Ops 3 that don't really have people playing them.
There's a part of me that like it's not nostalgia, but there's like a part of me that kind of wishes I was that kind of person who was not as engaged in games, like found the perfect game and I was just there for 20 years. I'm just hanging out there for 20 years. There's something kind of nice and simple. It's a simple life, you know?
I'm so close, but not.
Right. Because for me, it's like Master Chief Collection is the place. The only problem is, which I guess would be a problem with any of these old games, is that it's only sweats who are continuously improving.
Yeah, like unless you're getting a game that's like, WoW or, something like that where it's constantly getting updated.
Right.
But yeah, and to be fair, I might still just be good at Halo, but I don't know. Last time I played MCC, I wasn't like wildly outclassed.
We're gonna find out in a little bit for your birthday gaming night. My experience is every time we get the gang together, the rest of us have not been playing Halo, and team does yeah. So
Parker and I carry the Halo team.
That might be a fun thing to do is like do a video series of like, all right, you guys need to teach me Halo and I need to see like results in my KD ratio. And just coach us on doing Halo.
We coached Anthony a little bit. He improved.
Okay.
It wasn't like a 9-day difference, but he was getting closer to a 1-0.
All right.
So hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I know that my the problem with my play style is it's a very high risk,
right?
Which is great if you can like deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that it's not everyone can deal with it. And that's kind of the hard part about teaching it. It's just like, yeah, no, dude, you just bounce the grenade off that wall and then pop him in the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yep. It's just like, how do you do that with two guys shooting you? You don't worry about the two guys shooting you.
You shoot them first. Yeah. Well, there's a Halo story we'll get to there. We can talk more about Halo because despite all the Xbox stuff, man, I still like Halo despite this bullshit. So
I like playing the MCs. Actually, I even still like playing Infinite. I still occasionally load up Infinite and have a good time.
Sure. I think Infinite's multiplayer is fun.
It is. All right. Well, that's the Call of Duty thing. The next news story.
They added more value by taking away your ability to play it day one. So more.
And your ability to play it within the first year.
Yep.
It's so much value, Aaron. I can't handle the value they're adding by subtracting. They're adding so much value by subtracting value.
That's how it works, I think.
As
a result of all of this,
yes, I was a part of these people.
Yeah,
I'll explain.
The Game Pass price hike so bad it crashed the membership site. People were out there canceling the moment this news came out and spread.
Yeah, so that news came out and a shit ton of people canceled, and they were like overrunning the Xbox and the Game Pass Reddit. And the Xbox Reddit seems to be managed by Microsoft directly. Ooh. So they were like deleting anything regarding the cancellation, except in the thread itself about the price increase. So it was just like, yeah, no, it was real bad. I want to go in, I went to go in and cancel. And yeah, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in until the next day. I was like, oh, okay. This is probably gonna be my last holiday on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's like I'm looking at it. I'm going like, that saves me $17 to $30, and like I look at Microsoft's lineup for next year, and I'm like, I'd probably buy the Halo remake. I'd probably buy Gears. And I'll see how everything else reviews.
It kind of
So
it kind of falls to that, doesn't it? At the end of all of this, the Gears and Halo, both of which are like, I don't know what's going on at this point.
A little bit of so they just mass cancellations here.
Yep.
I know that Anthony canceled his earlier in the month, actually, before this happened.
Okay.
Because he was like looking ahead and he was like, I can hold off.
Yeah.
He's like kind of interested in Outer Worlds, but not enough to pay the sub.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also he even without this was just tired of Microsoft shit. He's just tired.
Right. And
tired.
I had canceled already because I needed to save as much money as I could, and I just wasn't using the service enough. And
that's fair.
Well, funny thing that I guess we'll talk about this now. Weird Omen. Just before this news came out, my Xbox said like, "All right, you need a 4.5 gig update." And I said, "Okay." Well, I mean, it had been doing this for a few weeks, but like I'm trying to update. It's like it gets to 2/3 of the way through the bar, console turns off. I turn it back on. And we got 4.5 gig update. Okay, this isn't working. I tried messing with it. Power cycling, turning the messing with the internet, messing with my connection. Wasn't working. And then eventually, a couple days before this announcement happened, it like took away my ability to even like go in offline to mess with settings. It's just like, no, you have to install this update or you turn this console off. And I'm sure there's a way around all this. I tried holding the power button for a minute. It didn't do anything for me. And all right, you're a paperweight now. Screw you. Like I'm so pissed. And then this happened.
You're probably gonna have to do. I forget how you do it. But yeah, you're probably gonna have to do a factory reset through the button method.
Right.
Which I forget how you do that.
I got to figure out what that is because the holding the button for a minute doesn't do it. So I would have to figure that out.
No,
but
it's
I got Gears of War Reloaded through GameFly so that we could do something and can't do it. So what may end up happening, we have this plan. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or anywhere else yet, but we're trying to do a Let's Play. We've been trying to do a Let's Play of Gears of War Reloaded, and it just hasn't been working, but we're trying to get there. I may have to download Game Pass for a month to get through that for the original Gears of War. And at this point, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, it's a nostalgia trip. Here's our, as far as I'm concerned, a farewell. Let's check out Gears of War.
Here's our farewell tour.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
We're gonna be playing. I think we're gonna be playing some Halo.
We love you, 2007.
We're gonna be playing some Halo and some Gears of War in October, and after that, it's like what they do. Halo Master Chief Collection is free to play. You can like check that out in other places, right?
So Halo Infinite's free to play. Halo Master Chief Collection is if you get it right now on Steam sale, it's $10.
Oh, okay.
Which I own it.
Yeah.
So I own it. So
at this point,
I bought that.
This is what I'm thinking, because like I'm not doing Game Pass stuff anymore. I'm not really willing to give Microsoft more money than it needs at this point. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, so look forward to that. What was not planned, but it seems like our farewell month to the Xbox. Wild.
I actually, so you don't own MCC on Steam?
No,
I
don't think
so. Give me a sec. So give me 1 second.
Give you a second. Yeah. So we were looking at the prices and all the benefits and all. If it works for you, great.
The thing is, it's just like I don't know who that person is.
Right. So leave comments in the podcast if it works for you. Like, we need to know, because I don't understand. If you're just trying to subscribe to a gaming service to have access to some games, regardless of whether they're good or not.
Well, PlayStation,
'Cause PlayStation has
talked
their
about
own.
this. Yeah, they have their own, but they talked about, they're like, yeah, the reason why we don't match them on the day one games thing is we would lose too much money. We don't know how they're doing it. It's
right. They're
but,
very
like,
they're not transparent at all about how they're doing it, which is what has led us to speculation on if this is why, like, when the Game Pass thing started, like at the beginning, I was like, these people, they do business. They do business at this business. And surely they've drawn up the numbers and said, we can make this work. We can make X work. And here we are in 2025, and it don't work. It didn't work. And because they're so opaque about it, like, I don't know what they were expecting. What was it that they were doing back there?
So okay, so this is what I think the plan was. This is what I think it was. It was the Netflix model of, we're gonna do it super good, and we're gonna be the first one here, and everyone's gonna love it and sign up. And they just didn't hit enough people in time.
Well, that's the thing is I want to know the numbers. What are the numbers here?
Well, last I heard, they have been stagnant around 35 million. Which, according to also what I have heard over the years, they needed to hit 100 million plus.
Good God.
Which, to be fair, if they got all the PC players and they got a bunch of PlayStation people to move over, like, they could have hit it.
They could have.
But they got a third of the way there. Obviously, less now.
Feels like they got the idea for Game Pass before they had the games, made and lined up for providing an all-out assault against God of War and Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima and all that.
Well, you have to remember, they bought all those studios like a year into Game Pass's existence,
right?
Because the plan was to have a bunch of games out through this entire generation. And all those games either, would be delayed or canceled, or if they weren't delayed or canceled, they just didn't live up to expectations.
Right.
There are exceptions, of course. I think Indiana Jones is amazing.
Right.
I think Forza Horizon 5 and Psychonauts 2 also great.
Yes.
But and in 2021, it looked like they were on, like, they did it. Like, it looked like
they were beginning to do it.
They were the highest rated publisher that year.
Highest rated.
Like, they had the most. Yeah, that means they had the most games that came out that scored above an 85 in Metacritic's history. I talk about, like, for a single year, they were easily the best publisher in the game industry in terms of how well games were doing from a quality standpoint, as we'll call it.
Sure.
But the problem is they never followed up on it. In 2022, they had 3 games, and they were As Dusk Falls, which I loved, but, like, no one played it. Pentiment, which is a great game, no one played it. And I'm actually forgetting Grounded was the last one, which was popular.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then 2023, Redfall was a gigantic failure. It was a flop. It was a massive flop.
That was a massive bummer. They just ditched that.
Yeah. Forza Motorsport got the Halo Infinite treatment of launching bare bones and becoming good a year and a half later. So screwed that up.
Yep.
Starfield, wildly disappointing. Like, just big disappointment.
Yep.
And then what was the and they put out Hi-Fi Rush, which is great, but it just didn't live up to what it needed to. So yeah, I think that I think that it's just one of those things where it just didn't get where it needed to be in time. Like, they did the classic tech gambit of get people who's super into the service run at a loss for a while, and once they're hooked, we up the price. Netflix is $25 a month now.
Right.
If you want the 4K does everything tier.
Yeah.
And and that was their plan. It was to run the exact, plan is change consumer buying behavior, make them rely on your ecosystem, increase price rapidly of said ecosystem when no or few alternatives exist. And most consumers didn't change their behavior.
Well, that's
because
the thing, right?
Have the games.
They came up short, and I think the writing has been on the wall that they're not going to take that spot. They're not going to come close.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I think if Sony did this, it might have worked.
Yes.
It might have worked because you would have had, you can play fucking Spider-Man for $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You can play Ghost of Tsushima and Demon Souls.
Right.
You can play Death Stranding, because look, I like a lot of these Xbox games, but they are not at the same level of quality.
That's the kind. Well, so level of quality, it goes back to that the high rating in 2021. Like, they're high rated, but it comes down to what are the games that people want to play.
I mean, we can look at the best selling games of 2024, right?
Sure.
All right, best-selling games of 2024. Obviously, the most popular games in general are the big live service games, Genshin, GTA, etc. But last year, Helldivers 2, Call of Duty, College Football, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, Dragon's Dogma 2. That's best of Steam. A lot of multi-plat stuff in general, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
2023 had I got last year's Spider-Man 2. That was in the top 20.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was in the top 20. Let's see. Helldivers 2 at the time was exclusive. It was in the top 20. In fact, Helldivers 2 was the third best-selling game of last year.
Yeah, I believe that.
Number 1 was Call of Duty. Number 2 was College Football.
All right.
But yeah, so it's a lot of sports, a lot of multi-plats, and then a couple of Sony exclusives. Now, last year also there was no Nintendo game that came out because they were no big Nintendo game.
They were beginning their transition.
Yeah, they were in their transition year. Versus if you look at 2023, Mario Kart 8.
2023 Mario Kart 8. Man.
Super Mario Wonder. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
Yeah, but you look at 2023, it's like the best-selling game of the year is Hogwarts Legacy, followed by Call of Duty, then Madden, then Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Modern Warfare 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Jedi Survivor, Soccer, Starfield. Hey, an Xbox game made it.
There you go.
They got one.
Yeah.
They got one. Over the course of 2 years, they got one. Mario, Resident Evil, MLB The Show, Dead Island, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Elden Ring, Mario Kart 8, and then Minecraft.
Yeah, a lot of stuff they acquired.
Yeah. So like
they have not been able to grow their own.
No. And then so far for 2025, the best-selling game of the year is Monster Hunter Wilds.
That's wild.
I really need to keep my spare pair of drumsticks over by my desk. No, I'll just keep the digital drum pad right here and just turn around.
Yeah, what we need is a soundboard. That's what we really need. That's what's going to make this podcast take off.
I'll get you a macro device for Christmas.
God,
just press a button.
Don't give me that power.
Okay, so my keyboard has 6 macro keys on the side.
Okay, all right.
I use 2 for some stuff I use already, but those other 4 to just have it built in where I connect it into the line in on my mic, press a button, have it do that sound effect. So this year, the second best-selling game of the year actually is a Microsoft game.
Okay.
It's Oblivion Remastered.
Oh, yeah.
College football, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed Shadows,
okay,
MLB The Show, Kingdom Come, WWE, Elden Ring Night Reign, Split Fiction.
Hey, all right.
Pick that up. We need to. I picked that up. We need to play that.
Sure. Let's finish.
NBA
I gotta
2K.
finish this Gears of War playthrough, and then let's do a Split Fiction run.
Yeah. NBA 2K25, Forza Horizon 5 because it got ported to PlayStation.
All right.
It got ported to PlayStation in March, and it becomes a top 10 seller.
And
what does that tell everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
EA Sports MVP bundle. So that's the bundle of Madden and college football.
Oh, nice.
Minecraft, though that does not include digital sales on Nintendo platforms. Civ 7, Grand Theft Auto 5, still somehow.
Who does not have that game already?
I have bought, hold on, PS3, PS4, PS5, PC. I have bought 4 copies of that game.
Yeah.
Wild. PGA Tour. Hey, we got a second Microsoft game, Doom: The Dark Ages.
Hey, there you go. All right. Yeah.
EA Sports FC, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Once again, no digital sales included. So
yeah. Rough.
Like, they've only got games on there. Both of them are Bethesda games.
Right.
But, hey, they bought it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this next news story here?
Do you think they would have done well if they had more time? Do you think if they just would have, like, because this year they are, and the end of last year they arguably got some games going. Do you think they would have done better if they had just a little more time?
Define a little more time, like
they had like another year or 2 before Microsoft corporate was, you need to make fucking money. We spent $69 billion.
I don't think so, because I think it comes back to the way they plan to meet the number of 100 million, like from the get-go. Didn't seem, just from looking at the results, it seems like they miscalculated something. Halo Infinite, getting delayed was a pretty big one. Selling consoles with Halo Infinite on the box, and then like it is what it is. There was just mismanagement of their games. They refuse to do anything with the number of titles that they can make games of, and just don't capitalize on things. I think they were just mismanaged, and they continue to be mismanaged.
That's fair. I think that if they could have gotten their cadence down earlier, they really could have done it. I do think 100 million, because like you think about how many people bought PlayStation instead in the because the first year they were behind PlayStation, but only by a couple million units. But then, like, it just from 2022 onward, it just snowballed super hard.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what that tells me is if they actually would have got a proper cadence like they have now, I think they probably could have done it, because a lot of those people who bought PlayStations would have bought Xboxes.
I mean, so that's the thing that we talk about with PlayStation, of like, if you can get as close to getting a game out every 3 to 4 months, that's fantastic. That's what, keep the PlayStation name in people's mouths. There's some of this that is also, it still stretches back to 2013. And there's no undoing that.
Yes. I think that what this tells me, and what the Call of Duty news story we're going to talk about relatively soon, it tells me is I think that there is some level of tainted around the Xbox brand. I think that there is just some level of people don't want it. They don't want to touch it. They just don't believe in it. They got, and there's just been so many fuck ups that there's a very good chance that one of them landed on whatever your sensibilities are, be it the price hikes, be it the 2013, we have a name for that. It's Xbox 360, like whatever it is, whatever the myriad of fuck ups the past 12 years have had. I just think it's bad blood.
Yeah.
And I think that for a lot of people, in my case, this shit was, like, I think this last year was like my final straw. I was like, the end of last year and beginning of this year, I was like, they hit a cadence. They're doing it. They've had one game every month. Yeah. This has been great.
Yeah.
They're killing it. And then they murder a bunch of studios. And then they up the price of their console. That's 5 years old.
Yep.
Which, and if you want the 2 terabyte version, it costs more than a PS5 Pro.
Right.
Which is a more powerful device with the same amount of storage.
This points to another thing that's kind of out of their hands on some level is tariffs and other nonsense have raised prices for everyone, or will, and it came at a time where Xbox was just not capitalizing. And you can say on some level Microsoft can eat it, but the whole reason this is happening is because they want to start seeing returns now, and they don't have it.
Because I think the thing that people don't understand is, prior to Bethesda, but especially prior to Activision, the Xbox division was just kind of a rounding error in the Microsoft machine.
Yeah.
It was a nice little thing that made money and was good publicity. But after you become the biggest acquisition in the company's history, you have the CFO looking at you, you have the CEO looking at you, you have the board looking at you and going like, where's the fucking money?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the money, as Sony, and Sony even said it, like, look, doing that shit day one is not how you make money. If you want to make money, you sell these games for $60 to $70.
Well, so that's the way to make money. But again, this was all part of a plan, supposedly, about pulling people away from PlayStation. And the idea is Microsoft can eat that cost for a time, but they need to be pulling people away from PlayStation. And this wasn't enough. Like, day one access to a $70 game that like people want to play was not enough for Xbox. And that's
and it's, I think that's because they didn't have, I shouldn't say they didn't have enough games that people wanted day one to play.
Right.
Like the difference between saying we have a bare bones version of Sea of Thieves or Starfield day one versus saying we have The Last of Us and Final Fantasy 16 day one is kind of fucking huge.
That's huge, and it's so huge that not giving Final Fantasy 16 and Last of Us day one, charging $60-$70 still feels better than jumping into the Game Pass system, especially now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's just it. I want to move on to the next thing. They're trying to deliver value. That's what they want to do. So the idea is to try and get more people into the system, right? And they're reportedly testing a free Xbox Cloud gaming supported by ads with monthly play limits. So,
okay, all right. I wanna talk with Microsoft. Microsoft, if you're listening, Microsoft, I know you listen.
Yes, of course.
I know Phil Spencer. You're a big fan.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you really enjoyed the first 2 years of us really hyping you up. I'm sure you've also really enjoyed the past 2 years of us shitting on you.
Sure.
Stop trying to make cloud gaming happen. Stop it. Stop it. No. No. Nobody wants it. Nobody needs it. It sucks.
That's the thing. I would want it if it worked. It does not work.
Because there's limits to the fucking speed of light in which fiber travels at.
It's not a good experience.
You can't beat physics, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay. Once again, I bring it up every time, and I tested it recently. I had to for a video I was making.
Right.
You know? I needed footage of cameo elements of power. I did not want to drag the recording equipment into the living room to get the footage off of the Xbox. So I figure at the time, I'm a Game Pass Ultimate member. I got the streaming. You know what? We'll see how it's doing. We'll see how the streaming's doing these days. You know, I got fiber internet. The whole office is wired out the ass. There's a giant snake nest of Ethernet cables in the corner for the 6 devices in this room that use this shit. You know, this shit's great. So I get 1,000 up, 1,000 down every time. Okay, I boot the game up. I'm actually kind of impressed. There's a little artifacting, and I do mean a little bit, not much. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Might be, you know, it's a 360 game running at 720, but still.
All right.
You know, boot it up, pretty good. Little artifacting.
Okay.
I do the first area, and I press the button, and I'm like, okay, there's some input delay. It's noticeable, but not insurmountable.
Right.
Especially, like, you know, Cameo has some precise jumps, but it's not the end of the world as long as you're a little patient and willing to miss a jump here or there.
Yeah.
Fine. Every time an explosion happens, it looks like a PS1 explosion because of the fucking pixelated bullshit.
Right.
All right. But otherwise, I get through that opening castle section to get footage. Everything's okay.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Fine.
I get into the Fairy Grove, which is the next portion. Tons of particle effects.
Ooh.
Tons of grass and trees. This looks like a YouTube video went into 240p mode. It was shitty.
Yeah.
It was awful. I cannot. No.
For Cameo.
No. For Cameo elements of power. It's not because the device that's running it can't run it.
Right.
I'm sure whatever device this is running on in some server in somewhere around me is running great. It's just the limitations of the goddamn internet and the infrastructure. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it with this cloud bullshit.
I wish it could work. It's a really cool idea, but you have proven for years now that you hit the limits. You and Stadia, you know?
You know, and you know, PlayStation Network has it for PS3 games, and every now and then I try it, and I'm like, yep.
Same.
That runs about as poorly as you think it would.
Yep.
Oh,
that's the best case
and
scenario.
Yeah, it's an ad supported.
It's really bad. So I don't.
Yeah,
so now we have ads included in that experience, and then there are play limits. They will stop.
Which, to be fair, it's free.
I know it's free, but like
it's free.
Gaming, you know, if I'm looking for a cheap experience, I can just download Steam. I can check out some games. Fortnite's free. Like, man,
yes,
this is a shitty experience.
I mean, yes, and also if you know, so if you also want a cheap gaming experience on a console, the buy-in's going to be expensive. How much is a used PS5 these days?
Not a clue.
Okay, depending on where you go, you can get one for $300 to $430.
Okay.
If you want like an actual warranty, you're probably looking at $400. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Fine. That is an expensive buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Entirely agree with that. All right.
Yeah.
However, if you go look for used PS5 games, even at GameStop, which doesn't have that good prices, they're very mediocre prices. You can find so much good shit for like under $30, dude.
Sure.
If you're willing to go play used Bargain Hunter at a GameStop, like, yeah, you can get Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, $30. You can get all kinds of good shit. You can get Jedi Survivor for $18. You can get so it's like, you can get Ratchet and Clank, $23. Resident Evil 4, $18.
But even like,
So yeah,
even if you put in the limitation of free, like I can't afford video games. I have a machine that can play them. Otherwise, I can only play free. There's plenty of good, games that people can play for free.
Yeah. There, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
You can play Marvel Rivals. You can play Fortnite. You can play Call of Duty Warzone. I'm not gonna tell people to play Genshin Impact.
You don't have to tell them, but that is an option.
I'm not gonna inflict that evil on people.
But I want to play video games. I want to sit down and spend my free time playing video games. They have options, and those options aren't going to look like garbage, interrupted by ads, and then eventually stopping you from playing.
Exactly, 100%. Like it's just like, yeah, like if you have $0, even then you have options. Like that's the thing. And I mean, damn, dude, if you really wanna go ham with it, you can get a Switch 2 new, but then you can get Switch 1 games. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That is a game that is fantastic. Amazing strategy game. It's $7.
Mm-hmm.
For $7.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't. Maybe it works. I don't know. Maybe it gets a whole bunch of people who have zero money at all into the ecosystem, and then they get money later, and then they're like, Xbox. But I just don't see it right now, man. This is not good.
I saw. So I'm on Twitter because there's been some Xbox breaking news. I'm trying to confirm it, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I did enjoy this comment. RIP Xbox 2001 to 2010. Thank you for that fantastic 9 years.
Wait, what? Hang on.
You heard it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened after that.
Okay.
Someone posted a picture of a bunch of Xbox influencers saying these four need to find new jobs because they ain't surviving. And then they said it again with a picture of Phil Spencer.
Phil.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right. Well, here, let's see. We got another image here I got to pull up.
Yep.
Let's see. So you sent me this image here.
Yeah, I couldn't get the actual story because it was paywall locked. Bloomberg.
Oh, right. That's right. I know there's a way around it. I just don't know that off the top of my head. Here, hang on. Let me. Oh, I can't transition. That's cool.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
Microsoft So, and in all fairness, there have been a couple of different people, including Matt Piscatello, saying that this might not be entirely true because depending on how Microsoft is calculating the numbers here, but going off of that though, they have said that Xbox gave up $300 million in sales of Call of Duty last year because of Game Pass, is their speculation. Now, I would argue that also could just be, that can be a lot of things. It could have been just people not engaging with Call of Duty as much last year. It could have been, stuff like that. Like, it could have just been people, just disengaging from the franchise. But in Microsoft's corporate eyes, it's, well, we lost $300 million in sales of Call of Duty. It's because way more people played it via Game Pass. So,
which is totally possible. I just figured that would have been accounted for. Did the Game Pass thing?
I think that they were not factoring in a monster like Call of Duty when they were doing the numbers for Game Pass. I think that Call of Duty is such an insane outlier.
Yeah.
That it just shifts things on its own.
But then they had to do the calculation when they got Call of Duty. Like, all right. Or wait, when did they get Call of Duty? I forget what year that was.
Last year was the first year they had Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So like, I figure you get Call of Duty, you make that number crunch on whether that works then.
Yeah. So and then there's a whole bunch of arguments with this of the network effect benefiting Game Pass, though. Like, how many more people bought it on PS5 and PC because people on Xbox and Game Pass people were buying it. And also because it had record engagement. So what was going on then?
Right.
And then, Matt Piscatella brings up, just because someone made an estimate on lost sales doesn't make it true. Same for estimates on lost sales to piracy or whatever. Did sales on Xbox drop because of Game Pass? Sure, as expected. Did the game as a whole suffer a massive drop compared to previous releases? It did not. Anyway, also pointed out earlier this year that the subs boost from COD was short-lived and that the release on Game Pass did not bump Xbox hardware. So, of course, there has had to been strategic shifts since. But that's been obvious and underway for months. And then someone commented, Microsoft just wants people off Ultimate and on to lower tiers so they can get day one sales back. It was fine when Microsoft Game Studios was releasing 3 games a year, but they bought half the industry in the past 5 years, and giving away 8 to 12 AAA games each year for the same price was never going to work.
Right.
Which, that can also be fair. Like, they probably thought, hey, Call of Duty and this other stuff is going to sell boxes. It's going to get people on the service for good. And it obviously didn't.
Nope.
So there they have to pivot around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The real crazy number here is 82% of players of Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yep.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
I think they were dead. I think they were dead long before all this.
I think that man, I just don't think there's anything you can do at this point to move people on. Like, I think you would have to entirely shift if Microsoft wanted to sit here and be like, we're going to be a console again, we're going to compete like Sony and Nintendo do. They would have to completely overhaul their business model and eat like half a decade to a decade of losses. They would have to basically sit here and go, okay, what we're going to do is we are going to make all of this shit except Call of Duty, because we're legally obligated not to, exclusive to our Xbox console. Oblivion, Outer Worlds, Ninja Gaiden, Keeper, Indiana Jones, all that shit is going forward is going to be exclusive to the Xbox console.
Right.
We're going to do our best to keep prices in line with whatever PlayStation is doing, and we are going to put out banger exclusive after banger exclusive for the next decade, and you might win some people over.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to make... What's going to make the most money is them going and becoming a third-party publisher, developer, whatever the hell you want to be. Because this morning, breaking news.
All right.
Some breaking news. There have been a shit ton of rumors this morning that Xbox is going to exit the hardware market. They had made an announcement 3 months ago about doing a dedicated system, partnering with AMD. But a lot of people are speculating this is going to just be a PC box. A couple people are expecting more Asus style partnerships, making the Xbox full screen experience available everywhere, while also producing devices following something like the Surface model. So yeah,
These are just rumors.
these are all currently rumors and a couple of links. One of them by, let me get the guy's name. Credible rumors from a guy named Sneaker SO, who has had a pretty good track record with Xbox leaks.
Right.
So yeah, he's had a pretty good track record.
Man.
So according to extremely reliable Xbox leaker Sneaker SO, the new Xbox hardware might be happening, despite that they've already announced it. He says that Microsoft is now 100% third-party publisher, and the new home of the platform will now be Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Man.
So this is exactly what he said. Without going into too much detail, not long after the last round of layoffs, next one should be coming in Q1 26, by the way.
Great.
Somebody put a pin in that. Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
That's not necessarily a calling your shot in center field. Like Microsoft's been doing this enough that's like a 1 in 3 shot. That's not a terrible bet.
Yeah, but Q1 of 26, by the way, it's going to just be as massive as the last one. Some rumblings out of Xbox started coming out. They were a little too hard to believe. The ramification of the COD Game Pass gambit not working out, we're just trying to get properly measured. But the thing that really stuck out to me was the suddenly really concrete plans for actual Microsoft Xbox hardware went from being definitive to up in the air, which was really starting to, given that this thing was meant to be out relatively soon. It was one of those situations where, despite folks being told, hey, we want to pull the trigger on this in 2026, they're planning so this is true. That means they're planning to launch the console next year.
Oh.
They're trying to go a year ahead of PlayStation.
Okay.
PlayStation supposedly 2027.
I mean, it makes sense for them to try, beat them to the, oh, man.
Anyway, the steps you would need to take in the lead up to delivering a new console gen weren't being met. Lots of things that were sure things started getting pushed. The Costco retailer pulling Xbox, apparently they're one of many that we'll learn about soon. Told me all I need to know. The future of Xbox is software publishing with a focus on significant, honed-in, profitable IPs. COD, WoW, Minecraft, Forza, Candy Crush. Cloud gaming will be the home of Xbox platform, transitioning Game Pass into basically becoming the point of entry subscription for xCloud access, which they will continue to drive its price tag higher, by the way. They aren't done yet. And releasing their software on any device that has a marketplace and users willing to buy their titles. Maybe some OEM thing will take up the Xbox name. So that's like what this handheld is. That's an OEM Asus doing an Xbox branded thing.
Gotcha.
But given what is clearly a collapse in favorable mindshare and faith in said brand, I'm not even sure a third-party OEM is going to want to have an Xbox console by the time Microsoft is done with reorienting the division.
Right.
So, yeah, because let me tell you, if this new Asus handheld was not Xbox branded, I would actually be considering buying one.
Really, it's the Xbox is the detriment?
Yeah. I don't, who knows? They might drop support of the product.
Okay,
and then,
you know what? That's an interesting point of like, when they were talking about this handheld, I was like, I'm sure it's a good handheld. I don't know. I'm really looking for a machine that's mostly going to be playing my Steam games and I can like put emulators on at this point. But if it's a good handheld, great. But yeah, you just bring up an interesting point. If Microsoft is recognizing their situation and starts pivoting away and not supporting it well, then like, what's the incentive to get this?
Like this version of Windows full screen experience is going to be on other devices as well.
Right.
So it's just like, I can still just wait and get something that is not branded with this. That's a good device. That's another thing. And I'm also entirely happy with my Steam Deck. By the way, everybody, you can get regular Steam Decks at least for one more day for $320. It's the base model, no OLED, 256 GB storage, but $320.
If you're watching this after, then I don't know. Check your prices. But
Yep.
uh,
Yeah, there you go. You get. I am sure though you can also get open box ROG allies at Best Buy. I'd be willing to bet that you can get a regular ally, maybe even an Ally X open box at Best Buy. Granted, you're playing the we had a comment related to this last week on one of our what's it called clips on one of our clips.
okay.
Saying that like, oh, I would just get an open box ROG Ally, which, yeah, you totally can. You can get a Z1 Extreme Ally open box at Best Buy. Let's see how much we can get these for. Yeah, as low as $430.
Okay.
The regular Z1 Extreme Ally, and if you want the fancy Ally X open box, and once again, this is you willing to bet on open box, which I realize that can be a scary prospect.
Sure.
As low as $775.
Yeah.
So for a $900 device. Anyway, continuing with the sneaker leak. And that's it. And then Tom Warren of The Verge is backing up Sneaker as a legit source.
Ooh. All right. Yep. This is it.
So this makes my conspiracy theory less exciting, by the way. But I would like to add that this came up into my brain when all these news stories came out on like Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say that I did not think of this because of the sneaker leak just now, but it felt like when I analyzed all of it, did the Tony Stark, the holograms all around me, like figuring shit out.
Naturally.
And I was like seeing it, I'm like, okay, they're obviously trying to just get rid of their hardware and not bother with hardware. Like, you can only buy this handheld at 3 retailers, by the way.
Oh.
There's only, you can get it through Best Buy, you can get it through Microsoft directly, or you can buy it from Asus. That's it. Those are the only places you can get it. So,
yeah. This is not going
so
well.
Walmart, no Walmart,
Yep.
no Target, no Games, not even fucking GameStop. Just hey,
You ain't getting it at Costco, that's for sure.
Definitely not Costco.
And this is
But yeah, so you look at and to be fair, at Best Buy at least, and Microsoft, you can pre-orders are still going, or pre-orders are sold out until November. You can get the regular one through Asus though still.
Okay.
So once again, I would encourage people just to get a Steam Deck of that.
Right.
But hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my theory was when I saw this news, I was just like, it seems like they're really trying hard to push people to pay for full video games. Like, it really seems like they're pushing people to pay for full video games. And it really, really seems like they're trying to get you to interact with their shit on PC. The fact that they're not making a traditional handheld and they're making a handheld PC,
mm-hmm.
combined with the fact that they're raising price on consoles and not taking any loss on the consoles now, combined with like all this Game Pass shit, it really feels like they're going, if you want to buy our games, you pay full price for these goddamn things.
Yeah.
Stop using our subscription service unless you have a console where you need to access our online play.
Right.
And then please, for the love of God, get off our goddamn hardware. But if you are committed to being in this suicide pact with us, then fine. You're gonna have to play this shit through cloud, and our next hardware is going to be like a full, like basically a PC, like a Steam box, but for this Windows full screen experience. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is rough. Um, let's get to the last news story regarding this whole thing.